In the heart of ancient Troy, a cunning plan was brewing, one that would reshape the course of history. Picture a massive wooden horse towering above the walls of a proud city, filled with hidden warriors ready to strike. The Greeks, locked in a decade-long siege, faced a seemingly insurmountable challenge. But what if the key to victory lay not in brute strength, but in deception? The legendary tale of the Trojan Horse is more than just a story of trickery. It's a lesson in strategy and human psychology. Imagine the Trojans celebrating what they believed was their ultimate victory as they dragged the colossal horse into their city. But beneath this facade of triumph lurked a deadly secret. How often do we underestimate the power of wit over muscle? As the night fell and the city slept, the unsuspecting Trojans unwittingly sealed their fate. This narrative isn't just about a wooden horse. It's a reflection of the age-old battle between intelligence and force. What can we learn from this ancient tale? How does it resonate in our lives today? Keep your mind sharp, because the story of the Trojan horse will challenge everything you think you know about victory and defeat. Origin and historical context. The story of the Trojan War, particularly the events leading up to the siege of Troy, is steeped in the rich tapestry of ancient Greek history. This tale, though shrouded in myth, reflects the complex political and social dynamics of the time. The conflict began with a seemingly trivial event, the judgment of Paris. According to legend, Paris, a prince of Troy, was tasked with choosing the fairest goddess among Hera, Athena, and Aphrodite. His choice of Aphrodite, who promised him the love of the most beautiful mortal woman, Helen, set off a chain of events that would ultimately lead to the war. Helen, however, was already married to Menelaus, the king of Sparta, which escalated tensions and prompted Menelaus to seek the help of his brother Agamemnon, the king of Mycenae, to retrieve her. As the Greeks united to confront Troy, the war stretched on for 10 long years, characterized by numerous battles, heroic feats, and tragic losses. The backdrop of this epic conflict includes not just the personal grievances of kings and warriors, but also alliances and hostilities among city-states, showcasing the fragmented political landscape of ancient Greece. Cities like Athens, Thebes, and Argos all played roles in the shifting allegiances, further complicating the narrative. The siege of Troy was not only a military endeavor but also a reflection of the values and virtues prized by the Greeks, such as honor, loyalty, and the pursuit of glory. The significance of the Trojan War extends beyond the battlefield. It serves as a cultural touchstone that shaped Greek identity. The war's aftermath saw the rise of new heroes and the spread of its stories through oral tradition. These tales were not merely entertainment, but carried moral lessons and reflections on human nature. The Greeks sought to understand the complexities of fate, divine intervention, and human agency through the lens of this legendary conflict. Thus, the origin and context of the Trojan War are foundational to understanding the cultural and historical milieu of ancient Greece. Troy, a city believed to be located in present-day Turkey, held both strategic and symbolic importance. Its capture symbolized not just military victory, but also the triumph of cunning over brute strength. The Greeks' tenacity in laying siege to the city for a decade illustrates the lengths to which they would go for honor and revenge. The war's context provides crucial insight into the motivations that drove these ancient warriors, reflecting broader themes of love, betrayal, and the quest for power. This rich historical backdrop sets the stage for the famous tale of the wooden horse that would ultimately bring about the fall of Troy. The historical context surrounding the Trojan War also enriches our understanding of the epic poems that emerge from it, notably Homer's Iliad and Odyssey. These works not only recount the events of the war, but also delve into the psyche of the characters involved, offering insights into the human condition. The interplay between fate and free will, as embodied by the characters' choices, invites reflection on the nature of heroism and sacrifice. Thus, the origin and historical context of the Trojan War serve as a vital foundation for the enduring legacy of this legendary narrative. The structure of the Trojan horse, arguably one of the most iconic symbols of deception in history, was a marvel of ingenuity and strategy. Crafted from wood, this massive structure was designed to appear as a gift from the Greeks to the Trojans, symbolizing their surrender after a prolonged siege. Its construction was not merely about its physical form. It was imbued with layers of meaning and purpose. The horse was hollow, allowing Greek soldiers to hide inside, thus turning what seemed like a token of peace into a vessel of destruction. This clever design reflects the cunning intellect that characterized Greek warfare, where brute force was often supplemented by strategic deception. The symbolism of the Trojan horse extends beyond its physical attributes. It represents the idea that appearances can be deceiving, a theme that resonates throughout human history. In the context of the Trojan War, the horse served as a reminder that victory could be achieved not just through strength, but also through cleverness and strategy. The Greeks, led by the wily Odysseus, recognized that the Trojans' pride and desire for glory could be exploited. By presenting the horse as a trophy of conquest, they played on the Trojans' emotions, leading them to let down their guard. Moreover, the construction of the Trojan horse involved a collaborative effort among the Greek leaders, showcasing the unity and resourcefulness of their forces. This cooperation highlights an important aspect of military strategy, the ability to work together toward a common goal. Each warrior and craftsman contributed to the creation of the horse, demonstrating that success in warfare often relies on collective effort and shared vision. The horse thus becomes a symbol of not just deception, but also of camaraderie and ingenuity in the face of adversity. The eventual placement of the horse at the gates of Troy served as a pivotal moment in the war. The Trojans, believing they had triumphed, celebrated their perceived victory and brought the horse into their city. Little did they know that this act would seal their fate. The design and construction of the Trojan horse illustrate the consequences of underestimating one's opponent and the importance of vigilance, even in moments of apparent triumph. This narrative invites us to reflect on the broader implications of trust and deceit in both historical and contemporary contexts. In summary, the structure of the Trojan horse encapsulates the essence of the Greek approach to warfare, a blend of strength and cunning. Its design, symbolism, and eventual impact on the outcome of the war serve as a powerful reminder of the complexities of human conflict. The horse represents not just a singular event in the Trojan War, but a lasting lesson on the nature of deception and the importance of strategic thinking in achieving one's goals. Military strategy and tactics. The strategy employed by the Greeks during the Trojan War was marked by a clever blend of military might and psychological warfare, epitomized by the use of the Trojan horse. This tactic of deception highlights a fundamental principle in military strategy. Sometimes, the most effective approach is not direct confrontation, but rather an indirect method that exploits the enemy's weaknesses. The Greeks understood that after a decade of warfare, the Trojans had grown complacent, believing they had outlasted their foes. The cunning plan to construct the horse capitalized on this overconfidence, turning the tables on a seemingly invulnerable adversary. The Greeks' use of deception serves as a classic example of the principle of misdirection in military tactics. By feigning retreat and leaving behind the horse, they created an illusion of defeat, leading the Trojans to let their guard down. This psychological manipulation was not merely about winning a battle. It was about undermining the very morale of the enemy. The success of the plan hinged on the Trojans' inability to perceive the threat hidden within the wooden structure, illustrating the critical importance of intelligence and awareness in warfare. Analyzing the broader military strategy of the Greeks reveals a sophisticated understanding of warfare that extends beyond mere brute force. The prolonged siege of Troy, demonstrated their capacity for endurance and resilience. Rather than rushing headlong into battle, they employed a strategy of attrition, wearing down the Trojans over time through constant skirmishes and psychological pressure. This patience allowed them to gather resources, build alliances, and ultimately devise the cunning plan that would lead to their victory. Furthermore, the strategic framework of the Greeks was heavily influenced by their cultural values, such as honor and glory in battle. Heroes like Achilles, Hector, and Odysseus were not only warriors but also symbols of the ideals that guided their actions. The Greeks believed in the importance of reputation and legacy, which often drove them to take calculated risks in pursuit of victory. Such motivations influenced their strategic decisions, shaping the narrative of the war and the characters involved. In conclusion, the military strategy and tactics employed by the Greeks during the Trojan War demonstrate a nuanced understanding of conflict that transcends the battlefield. The successful use of deception through the Trojan Horse highlights the importance of psychological warfare and the ability to adapt one's approach to exploit the vulnerabilities of the enemy. This blend of cunning and valor is a hallmark of the Greek military ethos, emphasizing that true strength lies not only in physical power but also in the ability to outthink and outmaneuver opponents. Main characters. The Trojan War is populated with a rich tapestry of characters, each embodying unique traits and virtues that contribute to the epic's enduring legacy. Among them, Odysseus stands out as the archetype of the cunning strategist. His intelligence and resourcefulness are pivotal to the Greek success, particularly in devising the plan for the Trojan Horse. Odysseus's character illustrates the Greek ideal of arete, or excellence, which encompasses not only physical prowess but also wisdom and cunning. His journey throughout the war and beyond, as chronicled in the Odyssey, further cements his status as a quintessential hero whose legacy is defined by both triumphs and trials. Achilles, another central figure, represents the archetype of the warrior hero driven by personal honor and glory. His unmatched prowess in battle made him the Greeks' greatest asset, but also his greatest flaw. Achilles' rage and withdrawal from the fight after a dispute with Agamemnon serve as a critical turning point in the war. His internal conflict highlights themes of pride, mortality, and the search for meaning in the face of inevitable death. The interplay between Achilles and Odysseus also underscores the tension between brute strength and cunning intellect, a dynamic that is central to the narrative. Hector, the Trojan prince and defender of his city, embodies the noble warrior. His commitment to his family and homeland contrasts sharply with the often self-serving motivations of the Greek heroes. Hector's tragic fate serves as a poignant reminder of the human cost of war, illustrating the theme of honor versus survival. His character resonates with audiences as a symbol of duty and sacrifice, evoking empathy for the Trojan side. The role of gods and mythology in the context of the Trojan War. The influence of gods and mythology cannot be overstated. The ancient Greeks believed that their deities were deeply involved in human affairs, often intervening directly in battles and key decisions. For instance, Apollo's wrath played a significant role in the war's progression. When Agamemnon, the Greek leader, disrespected Apollo by taking Chryses, the priest's daughter, the god retaliated by unleashing a plague upon the Greek camp. This divine intervention not only showcases the god's power but also highlights how human actions could provoke celestial consequences, leading to significant shifts in the war's dynamics. Athena, another key deity, exemplified the support the Greeks received from their pantheon. She was a goddess of wisdom and war strategy, and her backing of heroes like Odysseus was crucial. Athena's guidance helped Ulysses devise the cunning plan of the wooden horse, demonstrating that divine favor could often tip the scales in favor of a particular side. The interplay between human cunning and divine influence illustrates a complex relationship where mortals navigated their fates with the assistance or hindrance of the gods. The gods also had a hand in the fates of the Trojans. For example, the goddess Hera was particularly hostile towards the Trojans and supported the Greeks, while Aphrodite, who favored Paris and the Trojans, often intervened to protect them. This conflict among the deities adds layers of complexity to the narrative, portraying the Trojan War not merely as a human struggle but as a cosmic battle influenced by the whims of powerful beings. Such dynamics are foundational to understanding the ancient Greek worldview, where the line between fate and free will was often blurred by divine intervention. Additionally, the mythological elements surrounding the Trojan War serve as cautionary tales. The gods' favor could be fickle, and those who presume to challenge or slight them often face dire consequences. This narrative thread emphasizes humility and respect towards the divine, as seen in the fates of characters like Achilles, whose pride led to his downfall. The gods, in their portrayal, reflect human traits and emotions, serving as a mirror to the complexities of human nature, thereby enriching the stories of the Trojan War. Ultimately, the role of the gods and mythology in the Trojan War encapsulates the ancient Greeks' understanding of their world. By weaving divine involvement into the fabric of their history, they not only explained the inexplicable, but also provided a sense of moral structure to their narratives. This blend of the divine and the mortal underscores the significance of mythology as a tool for teaching values and lessons that resonate through time. Immediate consequences of victory. The fall of Troy marked a turning point, not just for the Trojans, but for the Greeks as well. The immediate aftermath of the city's destruction was characterized by chaos and devastation. The Greeks, having endured a decade-long siege, unleashed their pent-up fury on the city, resulting in widespread pillaging and violence. The once majestic walls of Troy crumbled under the weight of Greek retribution, showcasing the harsh realities of war and the consequences of conflict. This destruction also highlights a common theme in warfare. The victors often impose their will through brutality, leaving a lasting scar on the vanquished. For the Trojans, the consequences were dire. The survivors faced not only the loss of their city, but also the disintegration of their social order. Families were torn apart, and many were taken as captives, destined for slavery or worse. The emotional and psychological toll on the Trojan people was immense. Their once thriving civilization was reduced to ashes, and the remnants of their culture were scattered as they fled or were captured. This tragedy underscores the human cost of war, where innocent lives are invariably affected by the ambitions and conflicts of rulers and heroes. On the Greek side, the victory brought its own challenges. While they celebrated their triumph, the Greeks were not immune to the consequences of their actions. The moral implications of their victory became a topic of reflection. The method of their success, using deceit through the ruse of the wooden horse, led to questions about the ethics of such tactics. The Greeks had achieved their goal, but at what cost? This inquiry into the morality of victory through trickery resonated throughout their culture, influencing their philosophical and ethical discussions for generations. Furthermore, the aftermath of Troy's fall also set the stage for subsequent events in Greek mythology. The Greeks' return home was fraught with peril, as many heroes faced divine retribution for their actions in the war. Odysseus, for instance, encountered numerous challenges on his journey back to Ithaca, including the wrath of Poseidon, who sought to punish him for blinding his son, the Cyclops Polyphemus. This narrative arc illustrates how the consequences of war extend beyond the battlefield, infiltrating the lives of individuals long after the conflict has ended. Lastly, the victorious Greek forces found themselves grappling with the question of legacy. The stories of their bravery and cunning would be immortalized, but the horrors of war would also serve as a reminder of the fragility of human life and civilization. The immediate consequences of the fall of Troy thus resonate through history, serving as both a celebration of military prowess and a somber reflection on the devastation wrought by human conflict. cultural and literary legacy. The tale of the Trojan War and the infamous wooden horse has left an indelible mark on Western literature and culture. The narratives surrounding these events have been preserved and reinterpreted in various forms, most notably in works like Homer's Iliad and Virgil's Aeneid. These epic poems not only recount the events of the war but also delve into the complexities of heroism, fate, and the interplay of divine and human actions. Through these texts, the story of Troy has been passed down through generations, evolving while retaining its core themes of love, betrayal, and the tragic consequences of war. Homer's Iliad, while focused primarily on the events of the war, offers rich characterizations of the heroes and their motivations. The narrative provides insights into the values of ancient Greek society, such as honor, bravery, and the pursuit of glory. The character of Odysseus, in particular, is emblematic of the Greek ideal, as he embodies intelligence and cunning in addition to martial prowess. His role in devising the wooden horse is a testament to the importance of strategy over sheer force, a theme that resonates in military and political contexts even today. Virgil's Aeneid, written centuries later, expands upon the Trojan narrative by exploring the aftermath of the war through the eyes of Aeneas, a Trojan hero. His journey reflects themes of duty, sacrifice, and the quest for a new homeland. The Aeneid connects the fall of Troy to the rise of Rome, illustrating how the legacy of the Trojan War influenced the foundation of a new civilization. This work serves as a bridge between past and future, highlighting the enduring impact of the Trojan narrative on Western thought and identity. The literary legacy of the Trojan War extends beyond these epic poems. Throughout history, countless adaptations, retellings, and references have emerged in various art forms, including theater, visual arts, and modern literature. The story has become a metaphor for broader themes of conflict, deception, and the complexities of human relationships. It serves as a cautionary tale about the consequences of pride and the moral ambiguities of war, making it relevant across cultures and eras. In contemporary culture, the Trojan War continues to inspire filmmakers, authors, and artists who reinterpret its themes for modern audiences. The story of the wooden horse, in particular, has become a symbol of cleverness and strategic deception, finding its way into political discourse and contemporary narratives. The legacy of the Trojan War, therefore, is not merely a historical account but a living story that continues to evolve, reflecting the values, challenges, and complexities of human experience throughout time. Symbolism of deception. The Trojan horse serves as a profound metaphor for deception in both military and political contexts throughout history. At its core, the story underscores the idea that appearances can be misleading. What may seem like a gift or an opportunity can, in fact, be a cunning trap. This notion resonates far beyond the ancient battlefield of Troy. Throughout history, various military strategies have employed similar tactics, where the enemy is lulled into a false sense of security before being struck when least expected. The act of deception has been a crucial element in warfare and strategy, illustrating how intellect can prevail over sheer strength. Moreover, the Trojan horse symbolizes the broader theme of cunning over brute force. Many historical figures have drawn inspiration from this tale, adapting the concept of disguise and subterfuge to their own strategies. For instance, Sun Tzu, in The Art of War, emphasizes the importance of deception, asserting that all warfare is based on deception. The idea is not merely to outfight an opponent, but to outthink them, using intelligence to manipulate situations to one's advantage. This aligns with the Greek strategy during the Trojan War, where the cleverness of Odysseus played a pivotal role in their ultimate victory. In the political realm, the symbolism of the Trojan horse is equally significant. It serves as a cautionary tale about trust and betrayal, reminding us that not all who present themselves as allies have honorable intentions. Throughout history, leaders have often used deception to sway public opinion or to justify actions that might otherwise seem unethical. The term Trojan Horse has even evolved into a metaphor for hidden agendas within political discourse, where policies presented as beneficial may mask ulterior motives. Furthermore, the legacy of the Trojan Horse extends into contemporary discussions around cybersecurity and information warfare. In today's digital age, the concept of deception is manifested through tactics like phishing scams or malware disguised as legitimate software. This modern interpretation of the Trojan Horse highlights the ongoing relevance of the lessons learned from the ancient Greeks, emphasizing the need for vigilance and critical thinking in navigating both personal and societal challenges. Ultimately, the symbolism of the Trojan horse as a tool of deception serves as a powerful reminder. It prompts us to question our assumptions and remain alert to the potential pitfalls of manipulation, whether on the battlefield or in everyday life. The story of the Trojan horse teaches that while cunning can lead to victory, it can also have far-reaching consequences that extend beyond the immediate context, impacting relationships, trust, and ethical considerations. Modern reinterpretations, contemporary references to the Trojan horse are abundant in various forms of media, from films to literature and pop culture. These reinterpretations often highlight the enduring nature of the story and its lessons about deception and trust. For instance, movies often depict characters using clever ruses reminiscent of the original tale, showcasing how the theme of trickery remains relevant in today's narratives. This enduring fascination speaks to the universal truths embedded within the story, as audiences relate to the conflict between appearance and reality. In literature, authors frequently draw on the Trojan horse metaphor to explore themes of betrayal and hidden motives. Modern novels may portray characters who employ deception to achieve their goals, mirroring the cunning of Odysseus. This literary device not only enriches character development, but also prompts readers to reflect on the moral implications of such actions. The Trojan horse serves as a powerful narrative tool that allows writers to delve into complex human emotions and ethical dilemmas. Television shows and video games also incorporate the concept of the Trojan horse, using it as a plot device to create suspense and intrigue. Viewers and gamers alike are often captivated by stories that revolve around characters who must navigate treacherous waters filled with deceit and betrayal. These modern interpretations serve to reinforce the idea that the lessons of the Trojan horse are not confined to the past. They are integral to understanding human behavior and societal dynamics today. Moreover, the Trojan horse has found its way into discussions about technology and innovation. In the realm of software development and cybersecurity, the term has been adopted to describe malicious software disguised as legitimate applications. This modern twist on the ancient tale highlights how the essence of the Trojan horse continues to resonate in the digital age, where technology can be both a tool for advancement and a vehicle for deception. Overall, the reinterpretations of the Trojan horse in contemporary culture reflect its timeless relevance. Whether in storytelling, film, or discussions about technology, the themes of deception, trust, and the complexities of human behavior remain pertinent. The Trojan horse serves as a reminder that, while the context may change, the underlying lessons about vigilance and discernment endure, continuing to captivate and educate audiences across generations. Lessons Learned. The story of the Trojan horse offers profound reflections on the morality of victory achieved through deception. While the Greeks ultimately triumphed, this victory raises ethical questions about the means employed to achieve it. The use of deceit, even in the context of war, often leads to complex moral dilemmas. It invites us to consider the implications of our actions and the potential consequences they may have on our integrity and relationships. One of the key lessons from the Trojan horse narrative is the distinction between winning a battle and winning a war. While the Greeks succeeded in breaching the walls of Troy through cunning, The aftermath of their victory was fraught with destruction and chaos. This speaks to the idea that immediate gains achieved through deception may come at a significant cost, both morally and socially. It challenges us to reflect on the long-term ramifications of our choices and the values we uphold in pursuit of our goals. Furthermore, the story serves as a cautionary tale about the nature of trust. The Trojans, believing the Greeks had retreated, let their guard down, a decision that ultimately led to their downfall. This highlights the importance of maintaining skepticism in situations where trust is easily given. In modern contexts, whether in personal relationships or geopolitical affairs, the lessons from the Trojan Horse remind us of the need for vigilance and critical thinking when evaluating the intentions of others. In contemporary conflicts, the ethical implications of using deception remain a contentious issue. While some argue that deception is a necessary tactic in warfare and diplomacy, others contend that it undermines the principles of honesty and integrity. The Trojan Horse story encourages ongoing dialogue about the moral boundaries of strategic deception, urging us to consider the ethical dimensions of our actions and their impact on society as a whole. Ultimately, the lessons learned from the Trojan Horse extend beyond military strategy. They invite us to engage in critical self-reflection regarding our own practices of honesty and integrity. The story challenges us to weigh the costs of deception against the values we aspire to uphold, reminding us that true victory lies not just in achieving our goals, but in doing so with respect for others and adherence to our ethical principles. As we unravel the tale of the Trojan Horse, consider the true power of cunning and strategy. This wasn't merely a wooden structure. It was a symbol of how intelligence can triumph over brute strength. Imagine the tense atmosphere as the Greeks, after a decade of siege, cleverly hid their finest warriors inside, leaving the rest to celebrate their supposed victory. What would you have done in their shoes? Would you have trusted the gift left at your gates? As the Trojans pulled the horse into their city, they believed they had won. But little did they know, they were inviting their downfall. The lesson here transcends time. Appearances can be deceiving. How often do we let our guard down, only to be blindsided by unexpected challenges? Think about your own life. Have you ever faced a situation where the obvious choice led to unexpected consequences? The Trojan Horse teaches us to question what we see, to look beyond the surface. So, what's next for you? Will you carry the wisdom of this myth into your everyday decisions? Remember, victory isn't always about might. Sometimes it's about the mind. Stay curious and keep exploring the fascinating world of Greek mythology.